welcome back to Omni Garage. So last night the polishing of the WRX was finished up probably about 1 AM, so it was a really late night. So what we did once the polishing was finished is we wiped down the whole car in CarPro eraser just to make sure we've got all the polish residue off the vehicle. So this morning what's happening is we're doing the first application of the ceramic coating. So what we've got here is Gtechniq's crystal serum light, and we're going to top that with EXOv4. We've got some of the CarPro applicators and microfiber suede pads. So what we're going to be doing is the crystal serum light first. So I'm estimating this will take about an hour, maybe 2 hours at tops to apply on the vehicle, and that is our ceramic coating. The EXO is what we put on top of the ceramic, and we can do 2 coats of EXO over the next 24 hours. And this adds a hydrophobic layer to the ceramic coating, so water should repel really nicely off the surface. So we'll get prepped up here and start with the process. Crystal serum light comes with some gloves, which is highly recommended that you wear while working with this chemical. What we're going to be doing is obviously applying to large sections of the car. We're going to start with the hood. We're going to let it sit for a couple of minutes until it starts flashing, and then what we've got a whole bunch of these in the drawer. We've got 2 out initially, so these are the Obsessed Garage towels. These are the coating removal. So we've got a whole bunch of those that we can blow through today. So what we're going to do, we're going to get ourselves organised. So we're going to do 1 low pile, 1 high pile, so we know which is our initial wipe and which is our final wipe. And it's recommended to throw these away once you've finished with the process, because these will end up embedded with crystallised ceramic coating. So we need to prime our pad initially. I wouldn't recommend you do this on the vehicle, but for the sake of the camera today, we will. So we're doing almost a full pipette, and we're just dropping that, just making a line. We definitely don't need that much product. Moving forward, we'll only need a few drops at a time, but we'll start with the pad primed. All ready to start applying. So the main thing you want to do here is stay organised and know where you're working. So we're going to do this whole area here. Just move in slow, fluid, straight movements, and you'll be able to keep track of where you're up to. What I would do here is I would work in one direction, come back, and move in the other direction to make sure you do get an even coverage. Depending on your light, you'll start to see that's smeared and slightly flashing on the paint. going to start with our higher pile. This is going to be our initial wipe. And you can feel straight away the slickness. So this towel is running absolutely smooth over the paint, and it's really important that you wipe off properly and keep yourself organised here as well. Wipe the adjacent panels as well in case you got any there, because we are not going to make our way around to that area of the vehicle for quite some time, and we don't want to have anything that we need to repolish off the vehicle. Just stay really organised with your towels. So the whole idea here is we remove everything that is sitting on top of the paint, and you do want to check it in the light to make sure you have removed every last bit. Easy as that. We move on to our next section. After you've applied the initial layer, so once the pad's been primed, all I will be doing is about 5 drops. A little bit of this product goes a long way. Just keep wiping on adjacent panels, just to make sure you haven't moved any of the product across. Drop that towel, so that's no good anymore. So what you're trying to do when you're wiping off is, yep, you're removing the product that's still sitting on the layer, but essentially the main thing you're doing is leveling out. So you're making sure that the product's applied evenly and you're not going to get any high spots. And it is really tough to tell on the white paint in terms of what you have removed and what you haven't removed. So just make sure that, again, You stay really organised, wipe the adjacent panels, and if there's one part of the process that you're going to really take your time with, it'll be the coating. It's easy, but you just want to make sure you get it right and you don't muck it up. So Matt from Obsessed Garage sells these towels. They're about $2 US each. So buy a dozen of them, throw them away after you're done, or turn them into your general around the house microfibers. And that's our first panel done. So something that's great about Crystal Serum Light is this is good for trim as well. So this comes up absolutely amazing on black trim. So we're going to do basically everything around the vehicle now. All of the trim. Remembering, a little goes a long way. See that once applied, it's starting to flash out there. It's going to leave a really nice dark black trim. So we'll wipe that off. And remember, don't forget once you wipe this off to hit the adjacent panels as well. So we'll go around and remove all of this first. What I mean by that is just make sure that you get this piece up here, make sure that we haven't got any that's crossed over, again around here. The top of the mirror. Just making sure that we've removed everything so we don't double stack. That's the end of the process. So Crystal Serum Light has been applied to the whole car, and what's going to happen now is I'm going to leave this alone for 24 hours before coming along and applying EXOv4. Now we're going to aim to complete 2 coats of that, but we'll see how much of the bottle we have remaining after we get through the first coat. So EXO is going to add the hydrophobic layer to the Crystal Serum Light. Gtechniq recommend that you leave the car for at least a couple of hours before applying EXOv4, but in order to make sure that this is chemically bonded correctly to the car, I'm going to leave this overnight before starting with the first layer of EXO. So Gtechniq also recommend that you don't let the car get wet for 12 hours after application, and you don't wash the car for at least a week once you've finished this process. The next video in this series will be taking the wheels off the WRX and completing the same process. So those will be decontaminated and Crystal Serum Light applied to both the wheels and calipers. Thanks for watching Omni Garage, and stay tuned for the next video.